Tiger Woods didn't just change golf, he changed how we measure greatness. 15-time major champion, a cultural earthquake in cleats, a man whose Sunday red became a symbol as recognizable as any logo in sports. His story wasn't just about wins. It was about dominance, recovery, legacy. For decades, he was golf. But while the world watched his swing, someone else was quietly growing up in the gallery. Not a rival, not a fan, his son Charile Woods, and with every roar, Tiger earned a different kind of pressure, started to build, the pressure of being born into a myth. But what happens when a last name becomes a spotlight before you've ever earned a swing of your own? Charlie didn't ask for the spotlight, it was there before he spoke his first words, before he chose the game. The game had already chosen him. From the earliest images of Charlie on the range beside his father, the headlines didn't read Charile Woods, they read Tiger's son, the matching outfits at the PNC Championship, the identical finish on a swing, the synchronized walk up the fairway. It was viral, it was mesmerizing, but it wasn't fair because no matter how well Charlie played, the applause wasn't always his. It was an echo from the galleries of his father's past, and echoes, no matter how loud, can't replace your own voice. The public pressure was quiet, but it was constant. Fans cheered. Cameras followed. Analysts whispered, could he be next? But inside that whirlwind, something rare was forming, a team, according to People magazine. After Tiger and Charlie's second-place finish at the PNC, they shared a hug with Aling Nordegren, Tiger's ex-wife, and Charlie's mom. No entourage, no staged photos. Just a family navigating something monumental with quiet grace. Because before, there was competition, there was connection, and that's a foundation. No headline can fake. Charlie's story didn't start on the leaderboard. It started in the shadow of history. Sometimes the most powerful stories don't begin in the spotlight. Sometimes they began just outside the ropes, waiting. It didn't happen under lights. There were no roaring crowds, no network broadcasters, just Florida air, quiet galleries, and the slow churn of something historic in the making. It was May 2025. Stream Song Resort. The AJGA team tailor-made invitational. Charile Woods stepped onto the tier rank 604th in junior golf, not even a dark horse. He was barely on the board. The field was stacked with national champions, elite recruits, and future NCAA stars. Charlie was, on paper, just another name, but the leaderboard doesn't read potential. It records proof, and what Charlie was about to deliver wasn't a whisper, it was a message. 3 rounds later, the golf world was on alert. A 15 under par finish, a closing round of 66, lit up by 8 birdies, no fluke, no collapse from the field. Just precision under pressure. He didn't win by surviving, he won by dismantling. He beat 4 of the top 5 ranked juniors in the nation, including the undisputed number 1 Miles Russell, and he didn't edge him. He cleared the field by 3 strokes. Quiet confidence became calculated dominance. The story had changed, and this time, Charlie was writing it himself. The headlines came fast, but not the kind he was used to. Golf Monthly Times of India, even ESPN and Golf Digest picked up the story, but not because of a viral video or a Tiger cameo. There were no split-screen swing comparisons this time. The coverage was about Charlie's game, his control, his composure, his finish. For the first time, the world wasn't watching because he was Tiger's son. They were watching because he was that good, and in junior golf, respect isn't given, it's taken. Charile Woods didn't win a tournament, he changed his status. The kid from the background was now front and center. The name that once carried expectations had now earned weight, and for the first time, when people said, which they weren't looking backward, they were looking ahead. Tiger Woods has always been known for control. Control of his swing, his body, his schedule, his image, but when it came to his son, he made a move no one expected. In a recent revelation reported by his Tiger offered a simple piece of advice to Charlie, one that would echo across the golf world. No mira iori, don't watch me, watch Rory. A sentence, a surrender, a shift. Because when the greatest golfer of a generation tells his son to learn from someone else, it's more than advice, it's a revelation. Tiger wasn't just stepping aside from being a swing model. He was dismantling his own myth for the sake of his son's growth. He wasn't saying, be like me. He was saying, be better on your own terms. That's what made this moment so shocking. Most parents want to pass down their best parts. Tiger, in contrast, chose to get out of the way. Rory Morier, a friend, a peer, and in Tiger's own words, one of the purest swings in the game, became the blueprint, not the father, not the icon. And in that decision, Tiger revealed his greatest form of leadership, letting go. It wasn't a coaching session. It was something deeper, a quiet private permission you don't need to follow me to find yourself in an age where celebrity athletes are obsessed with building dynasties in their image. Tiger chose the opposite. He didn't just want Charlie to succeed, he wanted him to own that success without comparison, without timenesses. Pressure, that's not control, that's courage. This advice didn't just change Charlie's approach. It reset the entire tone of their relationship. No longer father and prodigy, now mentor and student, not shadowing footsteps, but walking parallel, because sometimes the strongest bond isn't forged through imitation, but through independence. There's a difference between playing well and playing with weight. Between showing flashes of talent and carrying expectation like armor. After Stream Song, Charlie Woods wasn't walking like someone hoping to belong. He walked like someone who already knew he did. The posture had changed. The interviews were fewer. The noise didn't matter anymore because the work had begun to speak for itself. And suddenly, Tiger's Son started to sound like an outdated title because Charlie wasn't inheriting greatness anymore. He was chasing it down. The numbers told the story. According to the Times of India, Charlie's dominant win vaulted him from ranked 64th to 14th. In the AJ standings, one of the largest single jumps in recent history. He didn't sneak into the conversation, he kicked the door open. A shift like that isn't the result of momentum or hype. It's earned shot by shot, round by round, and with that surge, Charlie became something else entirely. Not the heir, the hunter. The New York Post didn't mince words. This wasn't survival, it was domination. Charlie didn't ride a hot streak. He didn't catch lucky bounces or scrape past competitors. He dismantled a stacked field headlined by the top juniors in the country, and when it was over, there were no theatrics, no roar, no celebration dance, just a handshake, a calm walk to the scorer's tent in silence. The kind that only follows something definitive, because when you've earned the room's respect, you don't need to raise your voice. But perhaps the most telling sign wasn't in the rankings or headlines. It was in the locker room. Other juniors stopped whispering. They started watching. He wasn't just the Woods kid anymore. He was a legitimate threat, a benchmark, a name to circle on pairing sheets, and respect from your peers. That's the rarest trophy of all. It wasn't on a major Sunday. There was no roar from Augusta, no green jacket waiting behind the 18th, but at the Florida Amateur Championships, something bigger, something quieter was happening. And Tiger Woods was there to see it. Not on crutches, not on broadcast, not in a press tent. He's just sitting, just watching after weeks out of the spotlight, recovering from a torn Achilles. As Golf Monthly reported, Tiger reappeared, did not compete, but to witness, and sometimes presence says more than performance ever could. Observers were quick to notice he wasn't coaching. No trackmen, no notes, no swing tips from behind the rope line. Instead, Tiger leaned forward slightly in his cart, arms resting on his knees, eyes locked on Charlie with a look that was anything but casual. According to the New York Post, he didn't say much. He didn't have to. Every shot, every pause, every stride Charlie took, Tiger followed, not with a coach's analysis, but with something much more rare, reverence. And then came the moment the world wouldn't forget. Late in the round, Charlie sank a slippery birdie putt on the 18th. No celebration, no fist pump, just a nod. But outside the ropes, the lens caught what mattered most. Tiger Woods' head tilted, sunglasses off, biting the inside of his cheek. A single tear visible beneath his eye. It wasn't about score, it wasn't about stakes, it was about watching someone, you, love become who they're meant to be. And when legacy watches itself evolve in real-time, emotion is the only language left. As the gallery clapped, Tiger stood, not to wave, not to be seen, but because he had to, because something had just shifted. He didn't build this moment, he didn't drive it, he simply witnessed it. And for a man who spent his life defining greatness, this time, greatness looked back at him and smiled. At some point, every great story asks the same question: is this a continuation or a beginning? For Charlie Woods, that moment is now. For years, the world asked whether he would follow in Tiger's footsteps. That maybe we've been asking the wrong thing all along, because what we're watching isn't a boy tracing a path, it's a player cutting his own. The fairway ahead isn't Tiger's, it's Charlie's, and the more he walks it, the less It looks like a shadow, and the more it looks like a sunrise. Later this year, Charile will compete in the Junior Players Championship at TPC Soras, one of the most elite events in junior golf. It's the same course where Tiger Woods won the Players Championship twice. But this won't be about walking the same ground. It'll be about proving he can shape it. Soras doesn't care about names, it demands precision, nerve, strategy, and CH.